G'day everyone. Well, if you were to avoid being stranded on the side of the road with a flat battery in the middle of nowhere with no help around, then stick around for this video because we want to show you the quickest and easiest way to get up and running again. Okay, so I've finally done it. I said I would never do it, but I've finally done it. I've got a flat battery, and the reason I've got a flat battery is because I haven't kicked my engine over for a while. When we first got this little van, I said I'd take it for a spin every few weeks just to keep the battery charged and get everything up and running and moving along. But for the first time in 5 years, it's been sitting in my driveway, I think for over a month, and I've just gone out to give it a start, and the lights on the dash came on, but there wasn't enough power in the battery to kick the engine over, so I was stranded in my front yard. Now there's a few things you can do to get out of this situation. One is call your roadside assistance mob if you're a member of the NRMA or any other roadside assistance mob. They will come out with a set of jumper leads and kick your motor over, connect their vehicle to your vehicle. Or if you're like me and you have a set of jumper leads, you can wave somebody down, hopefully get one of your neighbouring guys or girls to help you out and give you a jumper start. Or if you're up to the times like I recently am, you can buy one of these power packs, and this is the same as having a jump start. The only difference is you don't need another car, you don't need another person. Even if you're stranded in the middle of nowhere, this little guy can get you out of trouble. This is a NOCO brand power pack, up to 1750 amps, 12 volts. It's a compact lithium jump starter designed to start 12 volt petrol and diesel motors, including cars, SUVs, four-wheel drive boats, motorcycles and light trucks. It's a popular high quality jump starter known for its compact size, fast charging and built-in safety features such as reverse polarity protection and spark-proof connections. It's designed for petrol vehicles up to 7.5 litres and diesel engines up to around 5 litres. There's a few different brands. I'm not going to highlight the brand because I'm not affiliated with any particular brand. They're all basically the same, and as you can see here, there's two cords running off it, a positive red and a negative black. And you'll notice on your battery terminals there's a red positive connection and a black negative connection. And it's as simple as turning the unit on. They're all very similar. Turning the unit on, you'll see the lights come on, and that means it's fully charged, ready to give you a boost. You'll see these little lights here. The last one is green, indicating that it's fully charged. If it's less than fully charged, naturally, there'll be less lights showing. I usually charge this little guy up once a month, just to make sure that he's ready for action if need be. It's got two nice little lugs that you simply, when you're storing it, attach the clamps to. And mine came in a nice little bag too, but I won't go into details with that. And it just charges up with a USB-C cable that you plug into one end. This little guy has a USB-C and a USB-A connection at one point, and you simply just plug the other end into a USB charger, and that charges up. And I've found it usually only takes about an hour or so to fully charge. Okay, so when I realised I had a flat battery, I turned the key over a few times and it didn't kick over. I knew I had to pop the bonnet and look for the battery to connect my little gadget to. Now, the confusing was, after I popped the bonnet and I raised the hood, I looked around and I said to Spencer, I can't see the battery, there's no battery here. He had a look, he couldn't see it either. So it looks like someone's stolen my battery, and that's probably the reason why my car wouldn't start, my van wouldn't start. But after a bit more investigating, I realised the battery is located in another spot. My battery for this little vehicle is actually located under the passenger seat, and you need a little Torx head screwdriver or Torx head wrench to undo the plate to access the battery. Now, to save myself undoing the plate underneath the passenger seat every time, I looked around under the bonnet and I noticed there was a positive connection point, and that's a point that's connected to the battery, goes all the way under the bonnet to a location that's convenient to jumper start your vehicle. Most vehicles that don't have the battery under the bonnet have this connection point. The only thing you will notice, or you won't notice, is a negative connection point, and that's because you can simply connect your negative terminal to either a solid part of the chassis or an unpainted bolt on the engine block. I came on a bit of a tricky situation because these cords are only fairly short. I was able to connect the positive clamp to the positive terminal under the bonnet, and the negative I couldn't quite reach a solid part of the chassis, so I put it on an unpainted bolt on the engine block. But because I was by myself, I had a couple of little concerns. One was leaving this unattended on the engine block, because when I came around inside the vehicle, being on my own, I was worried that starting the engine may vibrate the engine, which may cause this to fall down into the guts of the engine and causing damage to this and possibly the engine. So I actually undid the bolts under the passenger seat and connected it direct to the battery. After undoing the plate under the passenger seat, I located the positive and negative terminals. Like I said, red is for positive, black is for negative. Connect the red to positive, black to negative, turn it on, and simply just go around the front and start your engine. And I liked this method because I knew that this wasn't going to fall into the engine block, because it's now on the passenger seat floor, or it's now beside the passenger seat floor, so it can't cause any damage. So I thought for next time, I'm going to keep my jumper leads, and to avoid having to undo the plate under the passenger seat every time, I'm going to connect these jumper lead cables to my battery terminal and my chassis, and then connect it to my power bank, which will be sitting on the ground, and that way there won't be any worries about anything falling down into the motor when it's running. Luckily for me, it was a slightly low battery, and this little guy done the trick, and I was up and running and able to go for a drive. The trick is, once you've got your engine started, go for a 15 to 20 minute drive, because if you turn it straight off again, the battery still may not have got enough charge to start again. So it's always a good idea to go for a nice 15-20 minute drive around the neighbourhood, around the coast, have a look at some sights and come back, and that way you'll know your battery has had a really good chance to top up again with the alternator. Naturally, I charge this little guy up again with my USB-C connection, and I go out the following day and test it, and if it starts, you know your battery's okay. If it doesn't start, then you may have to consider getting a new battery for your vehicle. I know my battery's about 5 years old, so it's probably coming towards the end of its life, but at this stage it's still good. Like I said, I started it the following morning and it kicked over without any dramas, so I know I'm right. But definitely I think it's worthwhile getting one of these guys. There's a few different sizes, and I got one of the larger sizes. This is a 1750 amp. And when I explained to the mechanic that I've got a little diesel motorhome, he said I'd be going for the bigger one, because your little diesel motor needs a bit more oomph to kick over. So he said it's worth paying the extra money. And what did he say? Buy once, cry once. So yeah, this has done the job. This has proven itself. Definitely got me out of a tricky situation. If I had been on the middle of the Nullarbor, it would have been so good. Not so good to have a flat battery, but so good to have this. If I had a flat battery, you don't have to rely on roadside assistance or another vehicle passing by flagging them down, and it's so much easier than trying to reverse a car into your site. Sometimes sites can be tricky, especially if you're off-grid beside trees and rocks and down hills. This little guy is a game changer, and I recommend anyone with a motorhome or van or even your general car, get one of these guys, and it'll keep you out of trouble. Yes, well, that proves that's a very handy little gadget to have. It's got me out of trouble, and I'm ready to drive off again now. Great stuff. Alright, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to share with others who may find themselves in a similar situation. Also, feel free to click that like button, does my channel the world of good. Share and subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you guys out on the road. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.